Business Analysis, Use Case Diagram and Analysis. Welcome everyone. During this presentation, we will talk about use case diagrams and the use case analysis. This is a basic and effective tool to know and to apply during the work of a business analyst. We will talk a bit about the origin of the use case, and then we will have a look at an example diagram. We will also discuss the main symbols. Finally, we will touch on the main points of a use case analysis. The use case diagram was first created by Ivar Jacobson working at Ericsson. He is a Swedish software engineer and he used use cases as part of a method called object-oriented software engineering. Use cases are very popular and can be used for describing both business and system requirements and processes. Now let's go into the details. The use case diagram is used in UML, Unified Modeling Language. Use case diagrams describe the interaction between the system and the user. However, it does not describe how the system operates internally. It is used in almost every project and it helps to capture the requirements of the system. It also helps to initiate discussions and decisions about processes. The diagram has two main components: actors and use cases. An actor may represent a user, organization, or even another system and are displayed as stick figures on the use case diagram. Use case is an action that the actor performs to complete a task. You can see the system also has boundaries. On this example, you can see how the web ordering system is used. There is a customer who searches a web catalog and selects a product. It seems she or he needs some help, and so the sales representative is called to obtain help. Then the customer provides shipping and payment information, and finally the order confirmation number is received. The black line running around forming a rectangle is called the system boundary. It is optional to use. If something falls within the box, it means that functionality is within the scope. Now let's see the modeling elements one by one. The actor is one of the two most important components of a use case diagram. Actors are not part of the system. They interact with the system and enter inputs and/or receive outputs. An actor can be a person or can be another system as well as interacting with the system described in the use case. An actor represents a role, not an individual. Therefore, one person can be more than one actor in different roles. It is true vice versa, one role can be filled by more than one person. Even a full team, for example, as an accounts payable, can be one actor on the diagram. The primary actor is a user or the system that starts the use case. The line on the screen ending in an arrow is called communication association, and it can be used without the arrow as well. The secondary actor is a user or another system with whom the use case initiates interaction with. The use case itself is signed by an oval shape. We can talk about use case packages, which indicates a set of use case modeling elements. You can understand this as a higher level collection of use cases. Now we will talk about generalization. When building a use case diagram, there can be a generalization between the actors and the use cases. It is also called specialization. The generalized actor has subtypes in our example. Accounting has accounts payable as a subtype. It is signed by a line ending in a triangle to the direction of the generalized component, actor, or use case. A generalized use case can be accounts payable processes with a subtype process of check and delivery. Next, we'll see what other symbols can be used when building a use case diagram. You can see two further symbols or set of symbols used when building a use case diagram: include and extend. In both cases, dashed lines are used and are labeled with either extend or occlude. Include is used when two or more use cases share a set of steps or flows. It is used instead of the common flows in the use cases. For instance, apply for yearly medical check includes make a dentist appointment. You use extending a use case when you want to add an alternative use case. You can specify several extend relationships to a single base use case. You extend the relationship when part of the use case is optional, or there are certain conditions that have to be fulfilled for a subflow to be executed. In our example, when you place an online order, the extension use case could be specifying your shipment information. Using use case diagrams, you can describe an entire system. It is a very useful tool for modeling a business before starting a project. It helps all participants to establish a common understanding on how the business will or should operate. It is also useful while gathering, analyzing, and specifying requirements. As a business analyst, you will use this tool often during the initial phase of the projects and also during the testing phase. The use case diagram has to be used together with a well-written description or analysis. When writing the description, always keep in mind the user and the system, or the consumer and the business service. You have to describe their interactions. Each use case description is a collection of functional requirements for the described system function. You will see it has a significant role in the requirement specification. It shows how the users use or will use the new system. Use case analysis also helps developers in the building of the program. What should it include? It should contain the use case ID and name. The ID and name may refer to the group of use cases it belongs to. It should also describe the frequency of use daily, weekly, etc. Naturally, it should contain the use case diagram and the description of the use case. The description is about writing down the flow of events. Steps can even be numbered. The analysis should include the so-called primary path with reference to the alternative path. Throughout the documentation, be consistent. Use a consistent tense, and also use a consistent format and wording. Use simple sentences and establish your standard way of documentation. Now let's summarize what we have talked about in the use case diagram and description. The use case diagram was first created by Ivar Jacobson, a Swedish software engineer, and he used it in a method called object-oriented software engineering. Today, it is already part of the UML. Use case diagram and analysis can be used not only for system descriptions and analysis, but for businesses as well. Use case diagrams and analysis describes the interaction between the system and the user, or the consumer and the business. While drawing a use case diagram, you have to include actors represented by stick figures and use case represented by oval shapes. Using use case diagrams, you can describe an entire system or business. To have a complete picture, you have to add the description of the use case containing the actors, use cases, ID, and title of the use case. Describe the primary flow first and add alternative flows if there are any. All in all, use case is a popular tool used in business analysis that helps to deliver quality requirements during the planning and the design phase of the project. It is a good tool to initiate discussions and enforce decisions during the development of a use case diagram. Thank you once again for your time and attention, and this is businesstraining.com, where you can earn a master's level qualification to make more money.